Yo, welcome back guys to another video with some commentary. You got me on the left playing on a spell ground I don't typically play on. If you guys don't know what spell grounds are, they're the type of mat that me and my opponent are using right here. His is clean. He's got a really nice spell ground. I mean, dude, look at that shit. It's clean for sure. Mine's a newer one. It's a V7 or V8. I think it's a V8. I'm not a huge fan of the new spell grounds. They're really thick. Don't care for the stitching. The art on it's still really cool, but they just don't feel the same. You can see that I'm obviously going second. My opponent, he's got some issues, man. He activated Shifter, pretty sick shit right there. But he was telling me afterwards, after our match, that he doesn't think Shifter is really worth it, and I can see his point for sure. There are some decks that just play straight through it and like don't even really care, or it just doesn't do enough against some decks. I think it's a good side deck card. I don't know if I'd main it unless I'm playing like Flunder or Cash, which that's never gonna happen on this channel. I hope you guys know you're never gonna see me play Cash or Flunder. I'm down to play Shifter. Like, I played purely for a little bit, as you guys probably saw on the channel. I think I might have side deck Shifter for one tournament. So I don't think it's a bad card, but you can see my opponent, he's hitting me with the combo breaker. Summons Carrot, red, Gigantic, has 2 face downs. I think I know one of his face downs is the trap, which the Spright trap is absolutely insane. I think it's a really well designed trap. I think it does something really cool. If you guys don't know what it does, you can target one card in the grave or on the field and either special summon it to a zone that your link monster points to. You can take it as material, and I think it does one other thing, but I honestly can't remember right now. I'm going to normal summon Gazelle. Gazelle is going to get negated by Imperm, and I'm going to activate Polymerization to obviously fuse. I think my options right here are going into a Guardian Chimera or going into the Chimera flying mythical beast guy. I'm gonna go for a Guardian Chimera here. I really need to clear his board. And you can see in my hand, so I know there's a possibility that I draw 2 cards. And I'm gonna keep the 2, I think I have 2 or 3 cards in hand. I think I have 2. But I'm gonna keep the 2 non-engine cards in my hand and just choose to discard or banish all the engine because I'm under Shifter. He's gonna activate red to negate my Guardian Chimera and then double cross. I think that's what it's called, the Sprite trap. To take it for material under his Gigantic. He's gonna activate Gigantic. I Imperm, not Imperm, but I Veiler it. And then he's gonna go into a Sprite Sprint, and I'm gonna hit that with Ash. And now I'm on a top deck mode. I gotta top deck something good. He's gonna go into a Zeus. Not sure why he didn't go into a downer. Maybe he was playing under Imperm or playing under Nib, but honestly, it doesn't matter all too much. He had the Imperm to stop my next card, so played it well. Shifter did its job. He made a good board, and I couldn't out it. So we're gonna hop right into game number 2. All right, heading right into this game number 2. I sided for going first, but there was a consideration in my mind to have him go first and me just put in board breakers, because Spright can play a lot of non-engine, but that means that they can play a lot of board breakers or hand traps, and I didn't know what he was going to be on, because I saw the Shifter, and if I see Shifter I'm going to assume board breakers, but I decided to go first anyways. You can see my hand's actually really fucking cracked too. I have a Summon Limit and Judgment in hand. Patchwork. I had like the whole shebang pretty much. He tries to Imperm. I chain the Chimera Fusion to dodge it using the Baphomet and the Edgem Chain going into a Gorilla. They're both Dark Fiends. So I'm going to resolve the Baphomet, get the effects of Baphomet, summoning the Mirror Sword Knight, and I believe I activated the effect of Edgem Chain, searching another Patchwork. So follow up for next turn. Now I'm contemplating here which card to go into. Gonna use the Gazelle and the Mirror Sword Knight. Going into the... I honestly don't know this card's name. I played a whole like regional and multiple tournaments with it, but I know it's the newer Chimera fusion. So it's the one that foolishes. So I believe it's going to be Chainlink 1 Gazelle, Chainlink 2 fusion. The fusion gets negated, but Gazelle resolves, so I search Kodal. Kodal effect, discard. I think I'm going to search a Mirror Sword Knight here. Searching a Mirror Sword Knight. So you can see my hand for the most part. Patchwork, Poly, it was Judgment, and Summon Limit. And then I believe the Mirror Sword Knight that I searched. My opponent on the right, he's got a Lightning Storm, and I think I remember the other cards in his hand. I think it was like double Beaver and Foolish? Double Beaver and Foolish, I think. That's pretty much it. So, sending Angler with Foolish, Angler effect, summon Beaver. He's gonna try to summon Angler, but we're both gonna realize that it can't summon itself. That'd be pretty insane if it was, or if it could. Probably play 3 of that card. He's gonna normal summon Beaver. He's not gonna use the effect, but I let him know that you can use it. Because it can summon from grave, but it doesn't matter. I have summon limit, but it's just nice to know for the future that you can use Beaver and summon it from the grave. That summon limit's pretty much gonna end the game, so haha, floodgates, baby. That's what's up. Skillful, and that's gonna carry me to game number 3. Hopping right into this game, number 3. You can see my opponent opened up Shifter again and Nimble Beaver. So Beaver, summoning another Beaver. I don't know why, unless he opened up double Angler. Not too sure why he would summon another Beaver. I'm gonna activate Imperm. And you can see a Shifter still in his hand. Me personally, I would have activated Shifter earlier on, just to play around Veiler. Like, because if that was a Veiler on the Spright monster, on the Gigantic, instead of an Imperm, it would have felt really bad. So that's pretty much all he has for his turn. He sets 1 card, passes it over after activating Shifter. I'm going to activate Kodal. Now, the Chimera cards don't play too well in a Shifter, but Kodal just has to be discarded and Mirror Sword Knight just has to be tributed. They don't have to go to grave for their cost, so you can activate them under Shifter. That's the only nice part about, you know, getting Shifted, is that I can still somewhat play under it. I'm going to normal summon Mirror Sword Knight and then activate the effect. Now, I'm trying to figure out what that last back row is, face down, and trying to figure out what the cards left in his hand are. So, I assume that he doesn't have Ash, he didn't Imperm or Veiler the Baphomet, or Mourner, so I can roll all of those out. So, that last set, I thought maybe it's like a call by, or maybe it's like an enemy controller, something along those lines. I'm trying to make a read on it. I don't think it's a floodgate. I think that would have been flipped right here. So it's not a summon limit or like a judgment, I don't think. So at this point, I'm really lost on what it is. I'm gonna activate Chimera Fusion to fusion off. And I'm considering, you know, how do I break this board, put him on nothing. I'm still under Shifter, so all of my cards are getting banished. I'm going to activate Guardian Chimera, and then he's going to Chainlink 2 Super Polymerization. Definitely wasn't expecting to get Super Polyed, but the Chainlink 1 Guardian Chimera, well, Chainlink 2 Super Poly, it resolves, and then Chainlink 1 Guardian Chimera is going to resolve. So he's got a Mud Dragon on board now. I resolve the effect to pop 1, draw 2, and it doesn't target, so it's not, Mud Dragon isn't going to be able to protect itself. And then I'm going to set 2 cards, pass it on over to him. I think he's got 2 cards in hand. He's got Angler and Jet. So he normal summons Angler, activates Jet effect. And I have an Ash Blossom in hand, so I'm just contemplating. I have 2 Ash Blossoms, it looks like, and maybe a Gazelle. So I'm going to Ash his Jet, and then he's gonna go right into a gigantic. There's not too many options that he has here. So going into a gigantic, I'm gonna activate M-Perm on it. He's got no cards in hand or field, so the only thing left to do is attack. I contemplate activating my branded opening here, just to body block, but I think I can use the Luber as a body for Guardian Chimera if I need to, so I just hold it. He's gonna go into a downer, and right here I'm gonna activate my branded opening, because if I don't do it here, then he could just Zeus it away, or if he summons Zeus, and I go, I could go Chainlink 1, then he goes, I guess Chainlink 1 branded opening wouldn't be too bad, and if he goes Chainlink 2 Zeus, then it'd be fine, but really just summon the Zeus now. I discard my Ash, draw for turn. I think I just drew a Nib. So I have Nib, Branded Fusion, Gazelle in hand. And now I'm just contemplating like what I know I'm gonna activate the Branded Fusion, but I just don't know what I'm gonna send off of it. Obviously I'm gonna send Albaz, but right here I'm considering either going into a Rimbrum or going into the Albion or Lubellion and going into a Mirrorjade from there. Instead, I'm gonna go for the Rimbrum, because even if he clears this card, even if he clears my whole board, then I have Rimbrum effect and Grave as follow-up. So Codal effect, send, get me Mirror Sword Knight. And now, gonna normal summon the Sword Knight effects. Summon Baphomet effect. So searching 2 cards. And right here, so I'm gonna think a little bit right here. And what I'm thinking about is if I activate the Chimera Fusion and he wipes my board, then I have nothing. Because I have a Gazelle, I have a, it's Gazelle, Nib, Chimera Fusion, and I can't remember the last card in my hand. I think it's another Gazelle, honestly. So if he wipes my board as I activate Chimera Fusion, then I lose a lot of cards. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pass turn, because there's no way that I can get over the Zeus. The only thing that I considered, I think if I went into a Mirrorjade and just cleared the Zeus like that, I would have been in a much better position. But instead, this is what I'm left with right here. So he's got a Zeus on board. It's gonna stare down the Rimbrum. He's gonna activate Zeus effect. I go chain Rimbrum to negate and then bounce a monster on the field. He's gonna go Chainlink 3 Zeus. So activating both Zeus effects. It's gonna wipe the board, and then Chainlink 2 Rimbrum is gonna resolve to negate the first Chainlink and bounce the Zeus. And then the first Chainlink's gonna get negated. And then, like I said, I still have follow-up here. I think, now that I'm thinking of it, a different play he could have done is just put Zeus in attack position and beat over the Rimbrum. But either way, if you guys saw different lines of play, let me know in the comments. That's going to be it for this video. I appreciate you guys for sticking till the end, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.